Hey everyone! Today we're stepping into one of the most mysterious, beautiful, and misunderstood episodes in the life of Saint Francis of Assisi, a moment where fear, creation, and divine mercy collided in a way no one could have expected. It's a story people have repeated for centuries. A story told in monasteries, in villages, in quiet chapels, and in families who needed hope. A story about a wolf, and a man who saw more than a wolf. If you followed Saint Francis's life, you already know he had a way of seeing the world that was profoundly different. Where others saw danger, he saw woundedness. Where others saw a threat, he saw a brother. Where others built walls, he walked forward. And nowhere is this clearer than in the event that took place near a small Italian town called Gubbio, sometime in the early 1200s. For months, Gubbio lived in fear. At first, the attacks seemed random, a few sheep missing, then a donkey, then a traveler who never returned. But soon the truth spread: a massive wolf had made its home in the nearby forests. Farmers refused to work the fields. Parents kept their children inside. Travelers begged for escorts or avoided the region entirely. The fear wasn't imagined. It was real. The wolf had killed cattle, livestock, and men. Even armed soldiers returned with wounds, or didn't return at all. The people of Gubbio prayed for protection, but the sense of helplessness grew with each new loss. One historian described the atmosphere like this. It was as though a shadow walked among them, unseen in daylight, but always present. And into this fear, walked Francis. When Francis arrived, the people rushed to him. Their voices overlapped with panic. "Father, don't go into the woods. The wolf hunts even in daylight. It has no fear of men. Not even soldiers can stop it." Francis listened quietly. He didn't interrupt. He didn't offer quick explanations. He simply absorbed their fear, the way he always did, with compassion. After they finished, Francis lowered his head for a moment as if in prayer. Then he looked up and said gently, "My brothers and sisters, take me to the wolf." The crowd fell silent. Some thought he misunderstood. Others thought he was joking. But Francis wasn't smiling. He meant it. "Brother Francis," someone cried, "you don't understand, it will tear you apart." But Francis answered with a calm certainty. "Peace is not made by running from what we fear." Francis stepped outside the town gates. A few villagers followed at a distance, unable to watch, yet unable to look away. The closer he walked to the forest, the quieter the world became. Birds stopped singing. Even the wind seemed to retreat. Francis later described moments like these as times when creation held its breath. He walked deeper in, past twisted roots and darkening branches. Every step felt like entering a place where human presence didn't belong. And then, a sound. A growl low enough to shake the leaves. A presence beyond human strength. From between the trees, the wolf emerged. Massive. Scarred. Eyes burning like living fire. A creature shaped by hunger and survival, not malice, but the people of Gubbio didn't know that. All they knew was fear. The wolf crouched, ready to strike. Francis did not move. He didn't lift a weapon. He didn't step back. Instead, he raised his hand, slowly, gently, as if greeting an old friend. And he said words that would be remembered for centuries. "Brother Wolf, in the name of Christ, I ask you not to harm me." What happened next defies simple explanation. The wolf froze. Some say it was stunned. Others believed it recognized something in Francis, something it had never encountered in all its battles with men. The villagers watching from far behind later said it looked like the wolf hit a wall of invisible light, an unseen boundary of peace. The wolf's snarl softened. Its muscles relaxed. Its ears lowered. It was no longer a monster. It was a creature exhausted by fear, hunger, and solitude. Francis stepped closer. Not cautiously, compassionately. One step. Then another. Until he stood directly before the wolf that had terrorized the entire town. He knelt beside it. He placed his hand on its head. And to the amazement of everyone watching, the wolf closed its eyes. No one could hear what passed between Francis and the wolf. But later, Francis explained what he believed had happened. The wolf had not acted out of hatred, animals rarely do, but from hunger, from instinct, from desperation. In the forest, wounded and alone, it had become a symbol of everything the town feared. But Francis didn't see a symbol. He saw a creature loved into existence by the same God who created him. He spoke softly. "Brother Wolf, you have caused suffering because you have suffered. But if you make peace with the people of Gubbio, I promise you this. They will forgive you. And they will feed you. And you will harm no one again." The wolf lifted its head. It looked into Francis' eyes, not with the fierceness of a predator, but with the vulnerability of something that finally felt seen. And then something extraordinary happened. The wolf slowly lifted its paw. And placed it in Francis' hand. Witnesses later said the sight made their knees weaken. It was the moment fear surrendered to peace. Francis walked back toward Gubbio. And beside him, calm, silent, transformed, walked the wolf. The people screamed. Some hid behind walls. Mothers pulled their children away. But Francis raised his hand. "Do not fear," he said. "The wolf is now our brother." He explained the promise. He explained the hunger. He explained the peace the wolf had made. At first the people trembled. But slowly, remarkably, they approached. And the wolf did not snarl. Did not bite. Did not run. Instead, it bowed its head. In time, the villagers brought food to the wolf. Children played near him. The wolf guarded the outskirts of Gubbio like a sentinel. And he remained gentle. Until the day he died of old age. When that day came, the town wept. They buried him as they would a friend. For Saint Francis, this encounter was not a miracle of domination. It was a miracle of restoration. He taught that every creature carries a story beneath its wounds. That even the fiercest wolf may be waiting for someone to see the suffering beneath the fear. Francis believed that the harmony of creation was broken not by beasts, but by the fear that separates us, from God, from one another, and even from ourselves. He once said, "If we lived the gospel fully, even the wild beasts would be at peace with us." The Wolf of Gubbio became the living proof. A reminder that where others see danger, a saint sees woundedness. Where others see a threat, a saint sees a brother. Where others step back, a saint steps forward. And sometimes, that is all it takes. For a wolf to become a friend.